Peter and Paul Wentworth were more than just brothers. They were allies in a fight for freedom. Born into wealth, they chose to stand up for their beliefs. They challenged Queen Elizabeth I. The brothers believed in the power of Parliament as the voice of the people. They believed Parliament should freely discuss any matter, even the Queen's successor. Despite the risks, the Wentworths refused to be silenced. They believed in free speech and the right of Parliament to debate freely. Their courage had a lasting impact on England. Their story is an inspiration, reminding us that even the most powerful can be challenged. Their fight was about principle and the right of every person to be heard. The Wentworths' story is a reminder that freedom must be fought for, defended, and cherished. Queen Elizabeth I's reign was a time of great change and uncertainty. One of the biggest uncertainties was the question of succession. Elizabeth was the last of the Tudor monarchs with no children. This created a dangerous power vacuum. Various factions within the court jockeyed for position. Foreign powers sought to install a favorable ruler. Elizabeth played a careful game, refusing to name a successor. She argued that naming an heir would invite instability and make her a target for assassination. Her strategy heightened anxiety. In this climate, the Wentworth brothers spoke out. They believed Parliament had a right to discuss the succession. They argued it was a matter of national importance. They insisted the Queen's refusal to name an heir put England's future at risk. The Wentworth brothers entered Parliament at a pivotal moment. England was on the brink of religious and political upheaval. The brothers refused to be cowed. They championed the rights of Parliament and free speech. Peter Wentworth was known for his fiery speeches. He argued that Parliament should be free to debate all matters of state. He believed the Queen was not above the law. Paul Wentworth, though less outspoken, supported his brother's views. He rallied support and built alliances in Parliament. Together, they challenged the limits of free speech in Elizabethan England. Their criticisms of the Queen's policies were seen as treasonous. They were imprisoned in the Tower of London. Yet, each time they were released, they returned to Parliament, unwavering. Queen Elizabeth I was a complex and formidable ruler. She was known for her intelligence, strength, and fierce temper. She was a staunch defender of her royal prerogative. She believed she was God's chosen representative on earth. The Wentworth brothers' outspokenness challenged Elizabeth's view of her power. She saw their demands for free speech as a threat. Elizabeth responded with cunning and ruthlessness. She used spies to monitor their activities and imprisoned them without trial. She manipulated Parliament, playing factions against each other. Despite her efforts, Elizabeth could not completely silence the Wentworths. Their voices continued to resonate within the halls of power. They planted the seeds of a truly representative Parliament. The Wentworth brothers' struggle for free speech seemed like a losing battle. They were repeatedly imprisoned. Their efforts to limit the Queen's prerogative were unsuccessful. However, their actions had a profound impact on English history. Their courage inspired others to stand up for their beliefs. They helped establish the principle that Parliament had its own rights and privileges. This principle became increasingly important, culminating in the English Civil War and a constitutional monarchy. The Wentworths' story is a reminder that progress is often slow and painful. It requires great courage and sacrifice. Their legacy is about standing up for what is right, even when dangerous. Their fight laid the foundation for a more just and equitable society. Their story inspires all who value freedom of thought and expression. Centuries after their deaths, the Wentworth brothers' struggle for free speech still resonates. In an age of social media censorship and government overreach, their story is a powerful reminder. Freedom of expression is not a given. It is a right that must be constantly defended. The challenges to free speech have evolved, but the core principles remain the same. The right to criticize those in power and engage in open debate are essential to democracy. The Wentworth story teaches us not to take these freedoms for granted. We must be vigilant in defending them. We must speak out against injustice and support those silenced for their beliefs. The Wentworth brothers' legacy is a call to action. The fight for freedom is never truly over. It is a fight each generation must take up anew for the future.